Sup, it's your boy Kozak. Different type of video today. I'm going to be telling you why Hellcats are slow. Now, usually I don't make these type of videos, but recently I got in an argument with someone about this, and I always hate how Mopar people think. I usually get in arguments with them online, and it's nothing to do with this person exactly, so if he ever finds this video, it's not to do with you. I respect some of your points of views, but overall, I kind of want to tell you guys why this car is not fast. This car is ass, and I'm going to tell you why it's ass. Now, there is a little line in between where I would recommend getting this car, and I'm going to go over that first. The thing that really is good about this car, now we are here in California looking at their cars on Auto Tempest. So this is about 500 miles within, just a random zip code in California. And as you can see, we already found one for 41,000. They got a little bit of miles, but this is pretty good. Now, the reason this is an insane deal, and if we keep scrolling down, there's another for 52, and this one's actually new with a wide body. In fact, I would go buy this right now. To be honest, like, this is an insane deal. If this genuinely has no rebuilt title, I would actually be willing to get this. Now there's another one, 2018, narrow, 50 grand. Now, let's go ahead and put the price max at 50,000. Now, this is where it really, I feel like, shines. Like, look at all these that are under 50. 2016 under 50, 42, and 40 grand. 50,000 miles, not a lot for an American V8. It really isn't. There's one for 39,000 2016. There's a similar deal in my area for this, but it's actually even lower miles. The reason these are such insane deals, if we look at just a 2015 Dodge Challenger, 3.5 to 3.7 seconds of 0 to 60, which is pretty crazy, especially for its weight. But if you go ahead and look, it's 707 horsepower, 650 pounds of foot torque. For less than $40,000, you can find a car that has 707 horsepower. That is absolutely an insane deal. Like, absolutely crazy that is like something that you could buy today. It doesn't even matter if it's 10 years old. The interior isn't the best looking, but it has a lot of space. And I mean, it's a boat. Like, realistically, this car is a boat. Not trying to be a hater or anything, but it's an insane deal. If you just care about having a fast, nice car stock, barely do anything to it, maybe put on exhaust and some tint and stuff, and then that's as far as you want to go, this is the perfect car for you, probably, out of the other NAV8s, in my opinion. There's a reason for every car. Mustang is the best American muscle car, and that's hands down. If you consider Corvette a muscle car, it's up there too. If we look at the Chargers, these are usually a lot more expensive, but you basically have the same thing, but you're getting a sedan now that has a shit ton of horsepower. So it's an amazing deal. I don't know, like, it's insane that they're so low on price right now. And honestly, if you don't care about modifying cars and you just want a really nice fast car that sounds crazy, you should get a Hellcat. But that's where I'm going to draw the line. After that, there's really no point of getting a Hellcat, because this car feels like a boat, can't handle, can't go insurance. I mean, is it going to crash? No, probably, because it weighs 5,000 pounds. You got to do quite some work to, move that weight. Now, here is why I think this car isn't the best. So when we're modifying our cars and we're trying to get performance out of them, there is a kind of like a peak limit of where your engine and your platform can go. And it's really important to know this platform, and I'll explain why in a second. So, if we take a Texas 2K, this is where a lot of people put hundreds of thousands of dollars into these cars and into these platforms, and they push these cars to the absolute peak. They change the chassis, they do chassis work, they do literally everything. They gut the cars, they get the weight down. Everything that can be done is being done to these cars and these platforms. And in the heavyweight class, we could see that we have two Chargers, one got disqualified, but we can see that one of them has the time of 8.1 seconds. This is about what a Mark V Supra is doing currently. Now, what sucks about a Mark V Super competing with you is realistically it has the B58, which has been around for the same amount of time as a Charger, but the Charger has had a bigger aftermarket support and a bigger community working on it compared to the B58 kind of being more popular ever since the Super came out in 2020. So realistically, you're competing against a platform that's 5 years old, and you're not able to surpass it in 10 years of work. It's kind of bad. Now, you're slower by 1 second than a GTR, slower by, like 2 seconds than a Mustang. Now, these are going to be probably Coyote swapped. And, I mean, you could look. There's a lot of people running different times. Audi TT running an 8.9, but I'm assuming that's going to be a better car for rolling anyway. If we look at a Mustang's price, by the way, it's $30,000, $35K. I think the average would be around 30, but you could get a good deal for under 30. You can do it in 20. So you have around $10,000 to $20,000 worth of wiggle room compared to buying a Hellcat. And I made a little chart here. So this is a exponential chart, and what this chart is telling you is, so the horsepower is going to the line moving to the right. So if, let's say your car has a lot of horsepower, it'd move like this. Or if your car was really expensive and had no horsepower, it'd move like that. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is because this is basically how cars work. Cars have diminishing returns. When you buy parts, you're not really adding horsepower to the car, you're unlocking horsepower. So you're going to get to a point where you need to add horsepower, but you're just pushing the engine to its limit. So a lot of things that you add, you're unrestricting the engine and you're allowing more power to come out of the engine. The issue with this is if you have 3 parts that all advertise that you gain 15 horsepower for each part, only one of those parts will actually give you close to 15 horsepower. None of them will give you actually 15 horsepower. This is why people who advertise their horsepower without ever running a dyno are kind of stupid, because your car is not pushing that type of power regardless of what anyone tells you. So if we scroll down now, you can see that we have mods and speed. Now, the more mods you add, the less speed you're gaining, because your engine's going to be at the limit. So the best way to put this is that if we look at this, the drag racing results, and you have a Dodge Charger that has the Hellcat engine in it, and we look at a Coyote. Coyote, we've seen that they could push 6 seconds. So if our peak at a Coyote is 6, and Dodge, it's 8. If this is a quarter of the way there, let's say this is like 25K, and then up here you're already like 100K plus. Now, excuse my handwriting, but essentially what I'm saying is the Coyote is already going to be pushing 8 seconds around here, and the Hemi is probably going to be pushing somewhere like in the high 9s or the 10s. And so the reason it's such a bad car is because the cost to gain more performance with it is non-existent. If a fully built car with full weight reduction, the chassis had $100,000 of work in it, like these guys are putting probably 300K into this damn Hellcat to make it run an 8 second. You were never getting near that 8 seconds, meaning your car is forever going to be slow. It's just simple math, and that's literally how I see it. It is an unoptimal car to own, and when you have a Coyote, you could spend just some of the money towards like getting to that 6 seconds, and you're going to hit the 8 seconds pretty quick, because once you hit the 8 seconds, it's really hard to get into the 7 and 6 second range. You need to do a lot of fucking work, but you're already in the 8 seconds and you're gapping most of these other cars that are on this list, because that's what they push at their maximum potentials, while the Coyote is pushing in the 6 seconds. But again, this is just the straight lines. Now, if we're talking about a track car, you're going to have to focus on a lot of different things with the chassis rather than just worrying about the engine. It's like you don't see Miatas in here, but Miatas are a really good track car. So, but that's the other thing. Dodge doesn't make good track cars. So you don't have a good track car. You don't have a car that you could improve with performance. So it's either you're buying a car that, you're going to enjoy its stock for the most part. Maybe some little mods here to give it a bit more boost. That's fine. But if you're expecting it to be faster than everyone else, it's not going to be. It's going to be faster than randoms. But if you live in a place like Texas, or somewhere where there is a lot of fast cars doing street races, I think Hellcat is a really good car to go with. Now keep in mind, I don't own a Mustang and I don't own a Challenger, not yet, because that Challenger did entice me a little bit, the wide body one. I'm not gonna lie, but that's basically my point on why these things are slow. And anyone who thinks they're fast, they're not, because fast is being quicker than something that's average, but we have to compare, like everything. And yeah, you're faster than common traffic, you're faster than some other sports cars, but fast compared to what is actually fast now, they're not really moving. They're really not. Now you could value fast off just, oh, it's faster than average, and then yeah, like your car's fast, sure. But I'm valuing of, is this actually fast? It's 2 seconds slower in a quarter mile than a Coyote. That is not fast. And that's a fully built car, I hope you guys understand what I meant with these charts. The more you do, the less you're going to get out of it with your car, because everything has its, ceiling. The quicker you hit that ceiling, the worse, because there's not a lot more you could do without spending a shit ton more money. It's like doing an NA Coyote build. You're kind of already at your ceiling because they're pumping out the numbers as much as they can on that thing. But as soon as you boost a Coyote, you have a lot more ceiling to go through. But overall, I hope you guys understand what I mean. If you disagree with me, let me know why. But Hellcats are slow. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm going to see y'all later. Toodles. Bye.